Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about my social work journey at the Ohio State University MSW program. What we're going to talk about today is a little more about me, the schedule changes, ordering books, time management, anticipation, and my final thoughts. A little more about me. I am in the mental health and substance abuse um, track for social work at The Ohio State University. I do have my own company. I'm disabled. I am from Youngstown, Ohio in United States, and I am a first generation college student and of course master's degree student as well. Some schedule changes. I found, well, there were limited courses available for the summer semester, so that made it a little tricky. I found that there were not enough live classes. I could only take one live class for summer and one live class in the fall semester. And I had to juggle around a course because it was waitlisted. I didn't get on it in time, so I'm taking that course the following semester. So I just had to do a little bit of juggling with the schedule. Ordering books. I suggest looking around. Amazon usually has them pretty reasonable, but also Walmart. Um, there's a place called bookshop.org that has some books that aren't available at the bookstore. The OSU bookstore, which is Barnes and Noble, you can always get your materials there. You can rent, you can buy, either way. They do their best to make it as reasonable as possible. A lot of books are available by ebooks or on the Carmen Canvas, which is a program that they use to teach the courses, and those are usually included with your tuition. If you buy physical books or um, any other materials, I don't know if that comes out of your tuition. I think that they do have it so that they can do it that way. Time management. This is something I have a little bit of problem with. So what I'm going to do is make out a little schedule similar to this graph here, or this chart, where I'm laying out like Monday at 9, I'm going to do my law course and my discussion for it. Monday around 10, I stop doing that and I research for the law course because that's going to take a long time. Also at 11:30, I have a live class, so I would take time out, of course, to do that and take breaks in between. And just to give you an example, that's how I wrote it. Um, but for myself, I find that setting a timer and using an alarm per task is a great way to stay on task so that I don't run over with any one class and then be cramming for another. I have to deter the procrastination in me because I love to procrastinate and wait till the last minute. But when you're in graduate school, it makes it a lot harder to do that. A lot of the courses and assignments build on one another, so if you get too far behind, and then if you happen to get sick or something else would happen, it's almost impossible to catch up. And some professors do not permit late papers, or you may have a really hard time getting an extension. Also, I find it helpful if you turn off your other devices like your cell phone and anything else, TV, whatever, radio, so that you can really focus on what you're doing during these time periods. You never want to study more than, I think it's 2 hours at a time without taking a break. And also, you need a good support system, somebody that's going to remind you to stay on task and so forth. You really need that because it's so easy to get distracted, especially if you're going online. And a lot of times people don't want to take you seriously, and they think that you can just be interrupted whenever here and there and still get everything done. And it really doesn't work that way, or doesn't work that well. It's best to stay on task as much as possible. So the anticipation, okay. Well, there's the tuition bill that it hasn't come out yet. It won't come out until, I believe, the very end of March or beginning of April. And it also has to be paid by the end of April. And I'm a little concerned about that because I'm not the one paying the bill. So I want to make sure all that is in order. Um, the books, um, there's always that. I know for the first quarter or so, my books ran a little over $400. But that's because I want physical books, and that's just my preference. I don't like ebooks, so I try to get the physical books. Um, there's the thoughts and concerns about orientation at the internship site. When is that going to be? Orientation, or I'm sorry, the internship starts May 6th, as do the classes, because everything has to line up at the same time. So prior to that, there will be some kind of company orientation I'll have to go to, which is somewhat unsettling for me because I do have a 45-minute drive because I don't like driving and I can't drive on the highway. So where I'm going, it's going to take me about 45 minutes to, and another 45 minutes to get home, of course. And then there's concerns about the supervisor, especially because this is my second internship. It's the first, we have two internships, the first part and the second part. I already started the first one at a different internship site, but unfortunately that did not work out very well, and I ended up leaving there due to professional and personal differences. So I am sort of starting over again with the internship, more or less. I have a few hours accumulated, around 98, 100, somewhere in there, but not all of those are going to count because I'm going to need a whole new orientation because I'm going to a different place. It is not my recommendation to do that, but sometimes you'll find out in an internship that it's just better to cut your losses and line up better with where you really need to be. Um, so there is all the anticipation about the internship. How's it going to go? What's it going to look like? How long are the days going to be? How many hours will it be? Um, am I going to be able to structure that around my live class? I think I can already. I had kind of given them the heads up about that, but it's a little tricky because my live class dates will change from one semester to the next. So I have to go over that with them as well. And just the waiting, because this is the end of March now. I get started in May. You've got all the things about trying to get everything lined up. You want everything to be done at home. You've got to get your wardrobe ready, shoes. You want to look your best. You're going to be at a new internship site and you're representing the college as well as yourself. So it's exciting, a lot of anticipation, little anxiety going on there, but it's also very exciting. And my final thoughts are, can I even do this? I think we all ask ourselves that sooner or later. But I also want to know, where is my SWT? And for those of you that don't know what a SWT is, it is a social worker trainee registration. And here in Ohio, that is what's required for your internship. And everything has to line up, and you have to send different documents to the board, the social worker board, and all of that's been done. I just have to get my background check now. Again, I've had so many background checks, but they're only good for a year, so I have to have another one done. So, but meanwhile, it's like you're a little anxious as to where it is because you want it as soon as possible. Um, so that you'll be all ready and you don't want to have to push back your internship date. Will I get my books in time? That's always another concern. That's why it's good to order them as early as possible. I did email my professors for book lists because the syllabuses weren't out, and that's about the only other way I knew how to get the names other than asking in the Facebook group, which I did get a lot of assistance there as well. Also, will my tuition be paid on time? As I said earlier, I'm not paying my tuition, so getting it all lined up within the 4 weeks that it has to be paid may be a little challenging because I'm not paying it directly. So it's just making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed to make sure that's done so that it doesn't hold up my startup date. And if there are any other loopholes, like what am I forgetting? Is there anything else I need to do? You have to get your supplies in order. I need to get some more notebooks. I like to have the 5 subject notebooks, one for each class, the kind that has folders in between where the dividers are. But I also, in conjunction to that, I will either have a 3-ring binder with a 3-ring hole punch to keep all my assignments and discussions and papers together, and I will keep them separated by course. Also, there will be a ton of journal articles to read with each course, so I may keep them separately. I haven't decided yet if I want to keep them per course or just separately. And that's it. I thank you very much for watching this, and please feel free to share this, like it, subscribe, comment below if you'd like to see any different content. And thank you again, and we'll see you next time.